Little PSA, back in the dating world, maybe not for long. When the woman stops at the door for you to open it, maybe don't walk through it first and let the door hit her more than once. Thanks.
Ladies, tell me that this is just a one-off, that this is not the case. And fellas, why are you not opening doors for the ladies nowadays, man? I know we in 2025, we're in different times than we've been in the past, but tradition, man, it still holds a place in society. Man, chivalry ain't dead, man. Please don't let it be dead. Please, man. I got kids out here.
Can someone explain to me how in the actual am I supposed to meet somebody online and start dating them if I have to continuously keep paying for this fucking shit when nobody in 2025 can afford anything?
Now, this one's simple. Being in a relationship doesn't have to surround yourself with finances, especially when you're just dating. Now, that's not saying get with a person that's financially irresponsible. No, it's not saying that at all. What it is saying is you can't let that be the end all be all, especially if you meet somebody, you know what I'm saying, that you're really vibing with. Don't let social media tell you what you want in a relationship, what makes you happy. I mean, if that requires you to spend less on a date, perhaps go out to Starbucks, something free, a free concert, a walk in the park, do it. It's all about you.
Goddamn right.
Happy New Year. If you want a man this year, listen to me, okay? This year, ladies, you're gonna have to realign your pride, okay? You're gonna have to do some chakra work.
Oh, yeah, right. Come on, man.
We're gonna have to reset our brains because men do not approach women anymore. If you want a man this year, you're going to have to realign your values and understand that you have to go up to men now. And I'm talking about men like 26 plus, okay? And these days they do not go up to women. Why? At first it started as like this totally unhelpful faux feminist, like, I respect women, I'm not gonna go up to women now. And we've seen that like faux feminism, that actually like masculine centered feminism come into play with like wanting to split the bill and not being chivalrous and things like that. And actually this not wanting to go up to women, the whole subculture of this faux feminism community or thought came from like gym culture, and then it just slowly diverted, and it comes from an over access to women.
Well, it's not just that. It's also the massive amount of women online telling men to stay away from them. They proudly say, "We don't need men. Men are useless, and men should leave us alone," then turn around and wonder why men aren't approaching them anymore. It's not that men have suddenly lost interest in women, it's that men have learned to listen. When women openly say they don't want men around, men simply adjust and give them exactly what they asked for. And most men are still very chivalrous. It's just not something they're willing to hand out to every woman just because she wants it. The modern dating scene has made one thing clear. Chivalry isn't dead, it's just reserved. The bottom line is, those gestures are earned. A man's respect, effort and care aren't automatic privileges. They're given to women who show they deserve them. Yet, so many modern women think they're entitled to traditional treatment while rejecting everything traditional about relationships. Amazing, huh?
Now, those were some great points, but I did hear something earlier where she said aligning your chakras just to date. Like, that's wild. Like, that goes beyond dating. But you know what? That's a conversation for a different video. All in all, men are just looking for peace. If you can't be that sense of peace because you're unwilling to compromise, then you might want to ask yourself this question: why do I even want to be in a relationship? I mean, come on now, make it make sense.
Okay, so I have a theory in why dating isn't really working.
Yo, do me a favor and hit that subscribe button real quick.
I'll tell you why I have not dated and why I struggle to date is because I do everything for myself.
Boy, here we go.
I pay for everything for myself. Anything I want to do, I pay for it. I don't have any any man pay for anything. So with that being said, after being single and taking care of myself all of these years, if you don't do way more than the bare minimum, why do I need you? I'm not a man. I don't need to release myself every day. So how are you making my life better? And the reason why is because they can't afford to. Inflation, honey, it ruined everything. Nobody has money to do shite. Especially date me.
I think a lot of women who immediately come with the entitlement that a man should bail them out of adulthood need to look up the word partnership. Because from what I see, all it seems to be about for them is, how can a man enhance their life? And often that's because they're tired of adulting. They want someone to come in and take the financial burden off their shoulders, handle the responsibilities, and make life easier for them. I don't know if she's bragging, but it sounds to me like she became the man she wanted to be in her life. She's taken on that same dominant, assertive, and often entitled attitude that many men get criticized for, and now she's expecting all the benefits without realizing the problem with her own approach. When you approach a relationship with that much entitlement, expecting a man to bend to your will, give you everything, it's hard to imagine any man would want to participate in that. What's the draw for him? Why would a man invest his time, energy, and emotions into someone who sees him as an accessory?
You see, it takes a different type of dude to get with a woman like this. For me personally, red flags. You don't want a chick that prioritizes finances over everything, because even if she does give you a chance, if things go wayward, they go south, you think she gonna stick by?
Hell no, no, to the no, no, hell to the no, no, to the no, 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 hell to the no, no, to the no, no, no.
There are two sayings or phrases that I live by now in the dating world in 2025. The first one is, would your husband do that? Would he treat you that way? Probably not. He's probably not the man for you. And number two is, if it's not a fuck yes, it's a fuck no. Thank you.
And the one thing you better not be bringing into this new year is anything with a situation in front of it. No situationships in 2025, baby. We're done. They're done. They're in the past. We are bigger and better than those. You're too hot for that. Give it up.
Good luck.
Don't hold your breath on that one. I mean, a lot of women who are addicted to these situationships, well, they obviously don't know better, whether that's being with somebody who clearly isn't good for them or being with somebody just because they don't want to be alone. It's kind of like a coping mechanism. And until you figure out what it is that you actually want, you might want to stay away from these situationships. Just saying.
So I'm planning to find my husband in 2025, and I asked ChatGPT for some help based on my ideal partner, what their ideal partner would want, and then what their ideal partner's daily schedule would be like. It's really less about like changing who I am as a person, because I actually think that I am a pretty good person. Like, I'm honest, I'm committed, I am ethical, like I am a good person. It's less about that and more about like the spiritual side of things, of becoming a better version of myself so I can attract the best version of a man for me. Even if it takes me like a year to meet this person, like maybe I'm not good, maybe I don't get married in 2025. Me wanting to be a better person, me wanting to do better so I can attract better, I don't feel like it's a bad thing. I also don't think it's a bad thing at 30 years old, after being single for over 7 years, I don't think it's a bad thing to intentionally think about wanting to find my life partner. I don't think that's a weird thing to do. Maybe if I was 20 years old and I just got out of a relationship a year ago, okay, maybe you slow down, live your life. If you know me, you know I'm always doing stuff by myself. But if you don't know me, take a look, because I'm always doing stuff by myself. I enjoy my own company. So anyways, I'm just ready for the next chapter of my life. You know what I'm saying?
Wow, fellas, things are getting real. This woman wants a husband so badly that she's relying on AI to make it happen. I've got to say, it's a pretty creative idea, but at the same time, it just goes to show just how hard dating has become for women and how desperate they've become in trying to make it work. When you've got women turning to technology, outsourcing something as personal and emotional as relationships, it's clear that the dating game has shifted dramatically. It's not just about finding someone anymore, it's about how to find someone in a world where everything feels so disconnected. What's even more telling is how many women today are starting to give this idea a try to find their husband. The reality is that many women are getting to this point where they want to settle down, and that's a big change in a culture that often prioritizes independence and personal freedom. The question is, are these women willing to do the work to make that happen, or will the pursuit of perfection and unrealistic standards continue to get in the way?
I don't think you have a choice. I mean, realistically speaking, you have to change. It's in your best interest. Why? Because if you look at your past, you've seen that what you tried hasn't worked. And understand we live in different times. Now, I'm not saying go back to the initial tradition of your mom, but you can't use that as an excuse for what your mom used to do for your dad and what your dad did for your mom. Like, it doesn't make sense. Just adapt and move on with the times. And I mean, you know, hey, as sophisticated as ChatGPT has gotten and all these AI programs, maybe that might be the route for you. You know, basically set up the probability for where you can actually meet the man of your dreams, or at least the man that makes sense, or at least I think so. Man, I truly appreciate you kicking it with your boy, man. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, and of course, drop a comment. Until next time, my name is Raymundo. This is Raymundo Reacts, and I'm out.